Hello and welcome everybody to another episode of the Reside Daily Bite. Happy Friday to all of our viewers. Love Fridays. Today I want to talk about an article that came out in the San Francisco Gate today talking about the federal homebuyer tax credit expiring today, and what it talks about. When the federal first-time homebuyers credit expires today, it will be just the most recent example of the government scaling back its support for the residential housing market. They say the end is in sight. Obviously, properties needed to be in contract by April 30th today and then close by June 30th. California real estate experts said they saw spikes in pending sales prior to the first scheduled credit expiration and in recent months leading up to today's deadline. They do not expect the federal incentive to be extended again, and some are concerned about declining federal aid. And that is, in fact, what's happening. They extended the program in November, and they have not extended it as of now, as of today. They could always bring it back, but my guess is they're not going to do that. They're not going to extend it and probably have a wait and see period and see how the housing market reacts. The government is pulling back. In other recent changes, and we talked about this on previous Daily Bites, the Federal Reserve ended a program on March 31st in which it spent $1.25 trillion with a T to buy mortgage-backed securities. The article continues, without the government support, mortgage rates are expected to rise. And we've been talking about that too. We're expecting them, again, nobody knows, but by the end of the year, they could be up close to 6%, and many people are anticipating 2011 that the interest rates will in fact be hovering around 6%. And then they talk about the tax credits. California first-time buyers have struggled to compete with investors. This is an interesting point, I think, of the article, because what's happening is first-time buyers are competing with investors for some of these lower-end properties, and meaning distressed properties, foreclosures. What's interesting, and this is in the article quote, the phenomenon is exacerbated by the fact that banks are not selling their full portfolios of foreclosed properties, creating an inventory shortage, according to Leslie Appleton Young, the chief economist for the California Association of Realtors. And this is in fact true. We've been talking about this at our Keller Williams team meetings. The banks are not releasing their full inventory of foreclosed properties. Nobody really knows why. I don't know if they're worried about bringing too much property into an area at one time or releasing too much property. What this means is we're going to continue to see foreclosures, I think, on the rise as we move forward in 2010, because there's still a lot of inventory there, and the bank is going to continue to release that inventory. And it says it's tough in California because we're seeing a lot more demand for distressed properties than there is supply. So the banks are creating this artificial shortage in supply, so to speak, just because they're holding back some of their inventory. And I think that's really the gist of the article. So the tax credit, federal tax credit expiring today. The California tax credit starts May 1st. As I mentioned in a previous Daily Bite, those funds are expected to be depleted within 10 to 20 days for first-time buyers. That is going to do it for me today. If you have any questions, 1-800-476-5579 or feedback at residerealestate.com. Happy Friday to everybody. Have a great weekend. My name is David Doucette. Thank you so much for tuning in.